Welcome everyone, this is your own channel Learner Saga. In this video we will discuss the poem A Slumber Did My Spirit Seal by William Wordsworth. But before we start, I like to request you to press the like button, subscribe the channel if you are new, and also to share and comment on the video. So without wasting any time, let's begin. A Slumber Did My Spirit Seal by William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth was an English poet. He is best remembered for his lyrical ballads, which was published in collaboration with Samuel Taylor Coleridge from 1798 to 1802. There are three parts in 1798, 1800 and 1802. The poem A Slumber Did My Spirit Seal was published in the lyrical ballads. The poem is written by Wordsworth in 1798 and published in the 1800 edition of Lyrical Ballads. It is usually included as one of the Lucy poems, although it is the only poem of the series not to mention her name. The poem is a mere 8 lines long and having only 2 stanzas. Lucy poems have been dedicated to his beloved. The poet refers to death, which is a permanent sleep. The poet did not realize when his beloved Lucy slept forever, that is, when she died. He had taken his life for granted and realized this harsh truth after her death. Slumber means a deep sleep. In the title, as you can see, a slumber. Here the slumber means a deep sleep. Being thought deep in Lucy's love, the poet lover had forgotten the realities of life. He had no human fears. Intense love for Lucy made him think that time would not have any ravaging effect on his love. Thus, excessive love benumbed his spirit. It is said, a slumber did my spirit seal, so the love benumbed his spirit, as we commonly experience in slumber or in deep sleep. Okay, so here you can see this poem is about the death of a loved one. Actually, there is a controversy among the critics about Lucy's identity. Some critics said that Lucy is her beloved. Some says that Lucy is her sister. So that's why it is given in this way. This poem is about the death of a loved one. How does the poet feel when he thinks about her death? How does he imagine her to be after death? All the answers are included here. So let's read the poem. A slumber did my spirit seal. Wordsworth, the romantic poet, it is said that a slumber means a deep sleep, very deep sleep, did my spirit seal. That means that deep sleep sealed his spirit. Spirit here means the soul, the intuition, you may say. It sealed or it captured the soul of the poet. What captured? The deep sleep. I had no human fears. The poet had, when Lucy was alive, he had no human fears. Human fears means all the practical fears, all the fears that are practicable, all those things. She seemed a thing. She means Lucy. I told you that there is a controversy regarding Lucy's identity. Some critics opine that she is Wordsworth's beloved, and some say that she is Wordsworth's sister. Okay, so she seemed a thing that could not feel the touch of earthly years. And when Lucy was alive, the poet thought that Lucy was a thing that could not feel the touch of earthly ears. That means when Lucy was alive, the poet was in the notion that no earthly ears means all the years that are possible in this earth, they are not going to touch Lucy. That means Lucy's age will be static. So this is the first stanza. Here you can see the first four lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, first four lines. They consist the first stanza. No motion has she now, no force. She neither hears nor sees. So Lucy has no motion now because she is dead. After the poet realizes that Lucy is dead, now he is realizing that there is no force, no life, no vivacity. She neither hears nor sees because she is dead. Rolled round in earth's diurnal course. Roll round means as the earth is rotating on its own axis, and as the earth is rotating, so all the things are rotating with the earth. It is said, as she is a dead thing now, maybe her her body and all the things associated with Lucy are rolling round the earth's diurnal course. Diurnal course means daily. Diurnal is an adjective which means daily. Earth's daily course means Earth's daily rotation on its own axis. You may see here it is given. Diurnal means daily, and Earth's diurnal course means Earth's daily rotation on its own axis. So Lucy is now rolling round in Earth's diurnal course with rocks and stones and trees. As the inanimate objects like rocks and stones and trees, as they roll round the Earth's diurnal course, similarly Lucy is doing so. How? Because after her death there is no force in her, there is no life, no vivacity, and she is very much akin to the rocks or stones and trees which revolve round as the earth revolves. So in the second stanza, the poet says about the poet says after the death of Lucy, and what is his realization. Since Lucy is dead and identified with nature, she now shares in the diurnal course of the earth just as the rocks, stones and trees do. So the poem, you can see here the rhyme scheme: A B A B. See here, A B A B. C D C D. C D C D. So the rhyme scheme of the poem is A B A B, C D C D. You can have some of the literary devices there, rhetorical figures, such as there is alliteration when it is said the spirit sealed. A slumber did my spirit seal. So slumber did my spirit seal is an example of alliteration. Here the letter S is repeated. Again, another time we find, yes, here, roll round. So roll round is also an example of alliteration. There is also the example of enjambment. Enjambment is a rhetorical device when a sentence continues into two or more lines ending without any punctuation marks. And here in this poem, the example is, she seemed a thing that could not feel the touch of earthly ears. Here, she seemed a thing that could not feel the touch of earthly ears. Okay. So, if we have to gist this up, the poet here admits that he was in a sort of deep sleep because he did not fear the harsh reality of life. He had taken life for granted and had never thought that one day death could separate him from his beloved Lucy. For him, she was like an immortal goddess who was unaffected by age and mortality. As she is dead, she lies motionless. She cannot hear or see. She has been buried in the earth and rotates along with the earth. One day she will get assimilated with the trees, rocks, and stones that are a part of the earth. But remember, here the identity of Lucy is not clear because critics hold a different opinion regarding her identity. So I hope you have understood the poem well. If you have any question, you may please write to me in the comment section. I will try to clear your doubts as soon as possible. So hoping to meet you in our next chapter. Goodbye.